In 1855, during the Industrial Revolution, the first YWCA was born in London, England. Women and girls needed a safe place to live when they moved away from their rural homes to work in urban factories. Our local YWCA shares a similar story. In 1943, during the Second World War, the YWCA of Bristol was founded as a residence for women who came to the area seeking employment. For over 65 years, YWCA Bristol has continued to be a home away from home for many women, children, and elderly in our community. Please lend your ear as the beloved lifelong friend of the YW, Ivis Vance Perkins, shares a little of her experience.
My first experience with the YWCA was living at the Y, and so I was there working and going to school. The residence was wonderful. Back in those days, we had a kitchen area. We could do anything at the Y you could do at your home. I met some of the finest people while I was there. Still have a really good friend that lives in Bristol. We keep up with each other. And Mother Phipps was the house mother, and she was one of the finest people. She cared for us just like her own family would. And she had some pretty strict rules for us, though. She would say we have a certain time to be in, and if you wasn't in, she'd be waiting for you at the door.
Along with being a place you feel cared for, home is a place where you feel safe to flourish. Listen as Robin Wright, YWCA Nutrition Coordinator, describes how the YW helped her dreams take root.
Circumstances can sometimes make you realize, though, that where you are is not necessarily where you need to be. So on a faithful night, I threw my child in a car, or buckled him into a car, and we came back to where home is. I needed to come to someplace safe. We lost everything we had. We left with the clothes on our back, his car seat, and a couple of cans of formula. The thing that brought me to the YW initially was my son Damien. I needed daycare for him so that I could find a job in the Bristol area. So I'm very thankful that I was able to find a good job with the YW. My life now is absolutely amazing. I have the greatest 5-year-old that you could ever imagine. I actually enjoy being a single mom. You know, we don't have a lot of money still. I don't think anybody does in this economy, but we're able to save a little bit. We're able to go to birthday parties of his friends, which might not seem like an important thing, but, when you're 5 years old and your friends are having birthday parties, you want to go. We're going to have the opportunity in the next few months to build our own home, a home that I could have never owned without the YW. Dreams of home ownership, which don't happen for a lot of single moms, will happen for me.
Hard work and dedication always pay off, but aren't always enough. Sometimes you need a little support to stay on your feet. Listen as Susan Davenport, mother of 2 and full-time professional, shares how the YW assisted her family.
I am a full-time working mother. My husband works full-time as well. He actually is doing 2 jobs. I work 40 hours a week, 5 days a week, and I'm also in school. When we walked into the YW, we knew it was where we needed to be, and we probably would have been sunk if there hadn't been a place for Logan. They're the only place that I know of that does the sliding scale based on your income. And that's saved us many times. We've had financial issues, we've had car issues, we've had job issues. It's just been one thing after another.
During her second pregnancy, Susan and her husband found out in an ultrasound that their son would be born with a cleft lip.
He was born with a unilateral incomplete cleft lip. For the first few months, it was a lot of visits to the plastic surgeon. He had surgery at the end of November. And because we hadn't met any of our deductible on our insurance, we had to pay that up front before he could even have surgery. And then, there are anesthesia bills that are separate from the plastic surgery bills and that are separate from the hospital bills. And it's just, they pile on top of each other. We needed that extra help from the YW because we didn't want to have to take the boys away from there. They've strived there. They've grown there. They've been molded into the fantastic kids that they are there. I spoke with Marianne and asked her if there was anything that we could do so that wasn't going to happen, because I didn't know what we were going to do if we had to take them out, if we couldn't pay the cost. And she was able to, through donations, lower our rates for an extended period of time so that we could get back on our feet somehow.
A YW girl from the start, Brianna Franklin has felt the embrace of the YWCA through her early childhood in the Children's Center, as a teen in the Tech Girls program, and has even come back to share the warmth as a youth volunteer. Listen as she shares her story.
I had a fun childhood, and the YWCA was a big part of that. I really liked the Tech Girls too, as much as I liked it when I was a little kid. It's almost like the Y was a home away from home for me.
What would you have been doing if you hadn't come to Tech Girls in the afternoon?
I probably would have went home, watched TV. I probably wouldn't have got my homework done as much, and been as prepared for school the next day, because it's easier to focus when you have someone helping you with things. And I had problems with math, and when I went to the Tech Girls, they always helped me with that, and I never really struggled then. I'm in high school now, and every day you see girls walk down the hall and they hang their heads, like you can tell there's something wrong, and that you feel like you just want to go up to them and hug them and ask them if everything's okay. And the Y with the Tech Girls was kind of like that hug. It seemed like it didn't matter what background you came from when you went to the Tech Girls. You all just merged as a family.
As the old adage goes, home is where the heart is. And for many of our members, the YW naturally becomes a second home. Listen as the son of one of our dear Adult Day Service clients, Don Ashley, speaks about his mother's experience.
The adult daycare service is a part-day or full-day option of which the staff work with those that attend, and obviously they have snacks, they have their lunch, they have their exercises, but they also stimulate them. Puzzles and activities that they have planned for them are great. Toward the end of Mom's stay at the YWCA and her decline, if you will, she thought of the Y as being home. And then when she would come to home, she's coming home to sleep, but she would come back every day back to her home at the Y. So it really did become a home away from home.